rest now. Our time is done. I will continue what we have started.
Back to act!
3, 2, 1, fight!
Tyrannosaurus! Back to action!
3, 2, 1, fight!
Tyrannosaurus! Back to action!
2, 1, fight!
Tyrannosaurus!
Fight!
who's back.
Three, two, one, fight!
You know what they say, too much pink power is dangerous.
Look who we have here.
3, 2, 1, fight! Fight!
We got here.
KO. 3, 2, 1. Fight!
You should run. Get away from him!
It's far too late for that. The crystal feeds on green chaos energy. Do you feel it? His death is already underway, and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
Who are you?
No time! Start firing! Destroy that crystal and keep it from leaving!
No, not yet. I'm too close.
Tommy! Tommy, it's gonna be okay. Please, please just stay with me.
It's okay, Kim. It's okay. Everything's gonna be okay.
Tommy, wake up! You have to wake up! He's not breathing! There's no pulse! Help! We need help! Don't die! You can't die! Please!
Oh my god, Tommy!
He's gone.
I was too late. I couldn't get back far enough.
Who are you?
My name is Jen Scotts. I'm from the future. I'm here because existence is in danger, and only Power Rangers can save it.
To all those who will hear these words, my name is Zordon of Eltar. I come to you from across the grid with a warning. A great threat is upon us. His name is Lord Draken, and his armies are growing. With his newly charged Chaos Crystal, Lord Draken is able to move his forces across time and space. They have found a way to target Rangers. Their Black Dragon cannons are designed to disrupt all connections to the North. However, his true desire is to steal Morphers. With them, he will attempt to conquer existence. In this time of great uncertainty, we must stand together and, if possible, come to each other's aid. Defend your worlds. Protect yourselves and your Morphers at all costs. And may the power protect you all.
With the power of snow.
2, 1, fight!
Magical source, mystic force.
You and your weapons are no match for me.
With the power of snow.
2,
Fight!
Of course, my lord. I will do all that is necessary.
We'll never give up without a fight.
3, 2, 1, fight!
SPD, Cat Ranger.
1. Fight!
Got here.
Cat Stunners.
Ready!
Eyes on target. What do we got here?
Cat Stunners.
Out of my way! Die! 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 Die!
You have no idea. What I'm fighting for.
3, 2, 1, fight!
Out of my way! Out of my way! Out of my
Yes, my lord.
You have no idea what I'm fighting for.
It's after curfew.
2, 1, fight!
Eyes on target.
EA Sports, within the game.
be so successful in the conference with all those great teams. The Steelers won 4 Super Bowls. The Dolphins won 2 and were a mainstay in the playoffs. The Colts were tough. The Broncos came on late and went to a Super Bowl themselves. But against Hall of Fame coaches, John Madden's record, 36, 16, and 2. That's pretty incredible. His Raiders were a factor each and every year.
But Charles, you mentioned Coach was a 21st-round draft pick back in 1958. Was the Philadelphia Eagles who selected him. But unfortunately for John, knee problems, they just continued to dog him. He was hurt in his first training camp. Actually never saw the field as a player in the NFL. But it was still during his time with the Eagles, you and I were talking about this before going on air, that you could start to see the light bulb going on for what his career path might entail.
And it went on in a big way, didn't it? Because while he was rehabbing his knee, he started to spend a lot of time breaking down film with the Eagles with quarterback Norm Van Brocklin, the future Hall of Famer and future head coach in the NFL. Remember, Van Brocklin coached with the Falcons, he coached with the Vikings. And it was there during that time, I think Coach Madden realized his love of football and love for teaching, combining all that together, and that meant being a football coach. So in 1960, began his coaching career at a small college south of San Luis Obispo called Allen Hancock, and then later at San Diego State University under another legendary coach, the guy who could throw it around pretty well.
And now a fumble. Brady loses the football. And this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery, but on 4th down, a change of possession anyway. The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
Well, Charles, you know, it was in the early 1960s that a young John Madden made the acquaintance of the owner of the Oakland Raiders, one Al Davis, of course, and the two, they really bonded, would become one of the best owner-coach duos in NFL history. And to take it a step further, Al Davis became someone who John referred to as his best friend.
Yeah, 1967, Brandon. Al Davis hired Coach Madden to be a linebackers coach. Remember, this was still the AFL at that point. We had not merged totally with the NFL. And Coach Madden, he paid dividends almost immediately. Helped the Raiders win the AFL title in 1968. And that meant a date with the Green Bay Packers in what was now known as Super Bowl II. But by 1969, at the age of 32, just 32, Brandon, John Madden assumed the mantle of head coach of the Oakland Raiders. And what a ride the Raiders in the NFL were about to go on.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Here's Favre to throw. Pass over the middle tipped, but he still brings it in. Charles, you talked about John Madden and the Raiders going on a ride. Well, try these numbers on for size. In 10 seasons as a head coach, the Raiders won their division 7 times. They finished second the other 3 times, and he became the youngest coach to amass 100 career regular season victories and is still... Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
The AFC offense set to take their next drive. A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the other side. Their defense came through, was able to hold them without any points.
I would agree with you, partner. A little bit of a lucky break indeed, but you know what they'd say to us? No luck, just pure skill. We rose to the challenge, and we didn't permit a score. That's how we roll.
Well, I'm kind of curious, Charles, if they might temper their aggressiveness now offensively if they get in that 4th down spot again.
Yeah, one would think so. But maybe because they held him, they might go for it again. You see that celebration from him after that stop? Those corners don't normally have the chance to get behind the line of scrimmage and hand them big losses. So when he got that opportunity, he certainly made it a memorable one.
And that is incomplete. 2 minutes remain here in the first half of the John Madden Legacy game. We'll be back. Hey, we want to let you know, give you a fair warning that coming up at halftime, the folks at EA Sports have put together a very nice package in tribute to Coach Madden. So make sure you stick around for that. Again, coming up at halftime. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. Ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover the Plague did on the last one.
Charles, you think about all the success that John Madden had as an NFL head coach, and he had plenty, and we talked about it, including the 10 straight winning seasons, a Super Bowl title. But like any great coach, he also suffered through a few tough losses along the way as well.
And Brandon, those tough losses came in high-stakes games because they always had such great success. Think about it this way. 6 times in his 10 years, the Raiders were knocked out near the AFL championship game or the AFC championship game. There might be a divisional round exit. That's the one that bothered him most of all. Three River Stadium. December 1972. Yes, the Immaculate Reception game. Franco Harris grabbing the ball that was deflected. Almost at his shoe tops, he picked it up and took it in for a game-winning score to give the Steelers a 13-7 victory. And partner, anyone who loves black and silver still doesn't believe that ball hit anyone in black and silver that day, and that play should never have counted.
The CD, we spoke of some of the Raiders' tough playoff losses through the decade of the 70s, but for one shining season, they put it all together, and that was 1976. You remember a 13-1 regular season, a memorable playoff win over New England. They dominated the Steelers 24-7 in the AFC title game, and then a meeting with the Minnesota Vikings. He's got a man, complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Not really any offense for them to speak of here in this first half. Maybe that's what they needed, that big play.
Yeah, it seems that maybe everything changes right there. They've been a little slow out of the gate. We've seen that. But that one big play, that could spark a big burst right here.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. From the 9, 2nd and 5. Again, they'll run with Bettis. And he will take this in for an AFC touchdown. Jerome Bettis, as the first half is winding down, as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. We don't see too many scoreless halves in football, not in today's day and age, and we're not going to see one here. We finally have points on the board.
Yeah, and it didn't come easy, did it? Because neither of these offenses really gotten out of the starting blocks yet. But that is definitely an important score right there. And who knows? The way their defenses play, that touchdown might even hold up until the end.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Taking it about the 1. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. The throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
This is a half where not just the coverage, but the entire defense is setting the tone in this game.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll throw now on the final play. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot. So we are at halftime of the John Madden Legacy game, and now we present a special tribute to the man of the hour, narrated by the Raiders' own Trey Mosley. The AFC going to get the football first here as we are back underway from Oakland in the John Madden Legacy game. Fields this way up at the 17. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. The offense for the AFC set to go now. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak. He's got a man, complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Throwing on first down is Mahomes. Now he's going to throw deep right side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So now, Charles, to pick up the story we've been telling, John Madden at 42, he just completed a 10-year stint as the coach of the Raiders. He wants to step away a bit from the grind of coaching, but he doesn't want to step away from the game of football. So he ends up signing on with CBS in 1979 to try his hand at broadcasting. And much like his coaching career, he was pretty much an instant success.
Partner, he really connected with the people right from the start, and people may not remember he wasn't even on the #1 team in the beginning. He worked his way up. But the same things that made him a great coach made him a great broadcaster. The ability to show the big picture, yet break it down into the details. That's what he did with his teams. That's what he did with the people. That way, he was simple to understand, yet insightful for viewers. And he did with that big personality that he had, one that connected with everyone.
They'll run for it. This is Allen. And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards. The AFC went for it, and it doesn't work out. And as a result, possession switches hands. Ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. So for Coach Madden, Charles, by 1981, his broadcasting career is really taking off. He's elevated to the network's #1 booth that calls all the big matchups. And he gets the plum assignment of calling Super Bowl 16, 49ers and Bengals, and he's teamed up with Pat Summerall. And that pairing ultimately would go on to be one of the most influential in sports broadcasting history.
Influential not just in us listening to them. Remember, they went on and called 8 Super Bowls together. But how they put together kind of the template that all of us broadcasters follow now. Sitting down with the head coaches and the quarterbacks and the stars of each team before a ball game to get extra information. And the way that those two paired together, Pat Summerall, short, concise, to the point, and turned it over to Coach Madden to fill in all the big details.
They're going on 4th down. It's Favre. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the AFC is going to get the football back in great field position. They go play action. Now Mahomes out to his left. And this is caught. It's Brown. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. They fake the give. Now Mahomes. Touchdown! Tim Brown from 13 yards out. And they are able to add on to their advantage. So remember now, this was all set up by the stop defensively on 4th down. That's what got them this great field position. And then 2 plays later, they're already in the end zone.
Yeah, partner, funny how it works like that, huh? That's a momentum swing amusement park style. Your defense comes off the field, bouncing, grooving, they're fired up, and it carries over to the other side of the ball.
And there's been a Terry now to kick it away after the touchdown. Hester to return from his end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On the counter now, it's Sanders. And he can muster only a couple here to the 24. As you mentioned, CD, talking about John Madden, the broadcaster, he called 8 Super Bowls with Pat Summerall, 3 more with Al Michaels later in his career. He spent nearly 3 decades in the booth all told. And not only was he beloved for his mannerisms, we know that, but he was an innovator as well.
Yeah, Brandon, you're talking about things like the telestrator, which totally became identified with him. And now it's a staple for all analysts to have in the booth. And then you think about things like turducken on Thanksgiving. When he used words like boom and pow, he helped create the All-Madden team. He was a very popular commercial pitch man. And even the Madden Cruiser was unique, and you had to be someone to get a ride on it, too.
They'll try and throw for it with Favre. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The NFC's decision to go for it does not pan out, and it'll be a turnover on downs. On play action, it's Mahomes. He'll buy some time right. And this one almost intercepted. Chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on. Now, CD, we did get a little ahead of ourselves talking about John Madden, the broadcaster in the 90s and 2000s, because there was another product during that time period that he became quite famous for, and it's something that you and I know a little bit about, and that's the video game that bears his name. Originally John Madden Football when it was first released back in the late 1980s, and now known the world over simply as Madden.
And Coach saw this originally as a way to teach the game of football. The early designs were for a 7-on-7 game, but he said no chance. He would not.
And he will take this in for an AFC touchdown. Patrick Mahomes taking it in from 7 yards away, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Oh, and now they're going to fake it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Another not asking me, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. I think it's time to erase that play from the call sheet. I guess they figure with the big lead they can experiment a little bit. But all in all, just go ahead and put that play on ice.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15. As he's dropped at the 14. Ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
So, CD, you look at the accumulation of John Madden's achievements in the world of football, the coaching success, the Super Bowl title, the incredible career as a broadcaster with 12 Emmy Awards, Madden the video game. It was very fitting back in 2006 that John Madden got the call to be enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A more deserving person you will not find. He gave an incredible speech on that day, Brandon. So many of his former Raider players were in attendance. He talked about how he envisioned that when the last person turns off the lights in the hall every night, that the bus talk football amongst themselves. And what a discussion that might be.
Yeah, he finished his speech by saying, "Today feels like the second time in my life that I'm being carried off on the shoulders of others. Yet instead of off the field, it's into the Hall of Fame. This has been the sweetest ride of them all." And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. You think about John Madden in his retirement years post-broadcasting. He was about as active as most people are in their working years. I mean, he continued to play a key role on the NFL's competition committee. He was available to a wide range of people as a tutor, as a mentor. He continued to teach the game of football to all who would listen. And Charles, as you and I know, he even continued to provide input, a lot of input on the Madden video game.
Yeah, I know a lot of folks that design and build this game certainly look forward to their yearly visits out to the Madden compound that he had out in the East Bay. They pitch the new aspects of each year's game to him, get his feedback, and then get to sit back and spend 6 hours with him on a Sunday, watching football and listening to him tell stories and talk even more ball. It had to be an incredible experience for all involved.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Well, those are the types of plays they probably wish they had made more of in the first three quarters. And this deficit going to be tough to overcome here in the fourth. But a nice first down and a pickup on that throw.
Yeah, and this is where as coaches, you're looking for effort and execution, even though the scoreboard is going against you. You want to find out who's going to fight, who's going to scrap, who's going to keep their heads up and continue to play.
Now Favre. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But third down coming up. This offense was on the move. Now two straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To throw is Favre. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now Morton Anderson for the field goal try. This will be a 34-yard attempt. Anderson's kick is good, and that will move the deficit from 20 down to 17. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Lawrence. So it's a win here for the AFC on an incredible afternoon of football and remembering the life of John Madden. Before we go, one final message. And for all of us at EA Sports, this one's for you, Coach.
Time to decide how you're going to make your Madden NFL 23 debut. You could put yourself...
Your energy, I don't like it. I don't like the fake handshake, snake tendency. You an enemy. All them lies you telling, I can't let that be the end of me. No, probably cause your girl feeling me. It's a flag on the play, all these catching penalties. Look, I don't like your energy. I don't like the fake handshake, snake tendency. Let's go. Don't make me jog your memory. I did upgrade, you didn't upgrade it. The world, how they forgetting me. Please make it make some sense to me. How you talking about the greatest, still ain't mention me. Them bands, I want the symphony. 15 in it, wasn't instantly. Lately I've been catching plays, it's like it's meant to be. I got rich in the pandemic, meant to be. Don't do too much, I keep it simple. You clout chasing, trying to make the people feel you. Boys need to slow it down, I'm talking real screw. Penthouse at the top with the clear view. Oh, look, I don't like your energy, I don't like that. I don't like the fake handshake, snake tendency. You an enemy. All them lies you telling, I can't let that be the end of me. No, probably cause your girl feeling me. It's a flag on the play, all these catching penalties. Look, I don't like your energy. I don't like the fake handshake, snake tendency. Let's go. You not my kind, I know kin to me. Heard you told my girl about all of them that's DMing me. Why they hogging up the recipe? Heard they talking like I can't let Ken Wallace get ahead of me. Know your heart full of jealousy. All that acting tough, damn, this must be a parody. Okay, 1-on-1 ain't no comparing me. Okay, wait, 2-on-2, that's like 4, they be sharing me. Okay, they working like the rent do. Rent got them doing, that's what I'm into. Yeah, if I'm in it, then I own it, not a rental. No, I've been plotting on the lamb and the Benz cool. Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't like your energy. I don't like it.
Today, from Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina, this is the
Florida Atlantic man Greg Joseph ready to get this one started. And off we go from uptown Charlotte. A fairly short kick from the 14. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Off of play action, Darnold. He'll find his man, Terrace Marshall, complete. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Faking the give, Darnold. He's going to look deep for more. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive.
Well, they certainly weren't afraid to let it fly early, and they hope that'll keep the defense honest and keep the offensive guys excited about getting back out there. They are in attack mode in this game. It did backfire a little bit. Now you're just hoping your defense can keep them off the scoreboard so you're not facing a deficit the next time you run out there.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Throwing is Cousins. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
When you're a capable runner, oftentimes your quarterback coach, your offensive coordinator, they love to see you break the pocket and go ahead and take off. I think he could have gotten vertical and picked up something there. Instead, he pushed it downfield.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 85 yards. And the Vikings take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown. Well, Charles, here in their opening series, they said they had certain plays scripted for certain players. That looked like a well-designed play to get one of their top targets involved.
Yeah, let's face it, Brandon. A player of his talent is a problem for any opponent to defend, and we saw it right there. They tried to deny an open lane to him. He still outplayed the coverage and scored the early touchdown. Good luck trying to figure out how to defend him as this game moves on.
Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. A fairly short kick from the 14. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. Now remember, the last time out, they threw the interception. That led to the touchdown, so now time to regroup.
It certainly is, and their goal right now as they go back out on the field, a calming drive, something that takes the ball, keeps it for a while, lets the defense relax a little bit, and lets the offense regain confidence in their game plan.
And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Darnold. He's going to look deep for more. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
On 4th down, Darnold. He'll air it out deep for Thomas. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And that will force a turnover on downs. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Cousins gives way to Cook. They find some open field here. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. 33 yards for Dalvin Cook. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. A fairly short kick from the 14. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. And onto the field, here come the Panthers. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. Buying time to his left. Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it.
You spent your whole life trying to blow up, but Elohim never had time for donuts. The beat go ham, no time for cold cuts. The game like Big Fish came to Jonah. Yeah, I'm still independent. They sold 1 million records, yeah. Used to be on my checklist. Big diamonds don't need a necklace. Look, we built the sound like it's double speed Tetris. I cannot build without God in it. We built the sound, you can't copy this. I never brag, it's just confidence. I never rap for your compliments. I wrote this one for the indie grind. If you ain't signed on the dotted line, can't buy my soul with no dollar signs. The industry so full of troglodytes. I don't follow trends. Run it up. Say that with my chest. Run it up. No, I will not bend. Run it up. Game time in it. Game time. I don't follow trends. Say that with my chest. I will not bend. Game time. Run it up. Run it up. Run it up. Run it up. Run it up.
Today, from M.
The Florida Atlantic man, Greg Joseph, ready to get this one started. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. Jackson looking to throw right away. That's caught. It's Demarcus Robinson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 13 yards on the game's opening play. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete. But the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So they take a decent shot, CD, and the flag comes out for pass interference.
Yeah, a little DPI, as they like to call it in the business, right? And the farther you get downfield, the more frenetic things get, and the more calm and control you have to remain as a defender. That was a little bit of a slip there, and the penalty will go against him.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised how that one played out, but we know this guy. It's not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6.
Nice chunk of yards on first down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on second. You can go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Eluding the pressure right. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
And And that's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And he gets the first down here as he's taken down at the 24. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. They run again on first down. Cook. And they're knocking on the door now as a good run there. Going to take this to about the 10-yard line. So not quite a first and goal. It's first and 10 from the 10. They'll try to throw now. Cousins. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. They'll wind up getting just a yard, and that'll bring up second down. Cook up the gut. Only about a yard there as he takes it from the 9 to the 8. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On third down, Cousins. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Vikings are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Joseph now to kick this one away. Fields this way up at the 17. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
Well, they're certainly not giving much help to their defense, are they? Because for the second time now, that D has had to run back out on the field early after an interception. And remember, on the last drive, the opposing side took it in for 6 after that interception. They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely, frees up your guys elsewhere. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Tyus Bowser blowing that play up. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Yeah, and that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long?
And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. So the field goal unit is coming on here, and boy, this is going to be darn near impossible. And As is to be expected, this is nowhere near being good from that distance. And this will remain a one-touchdown game.
Trying to build on that opening drive touchdown, but the drive stalls out. And then you get the missed field goal here, so they wind up with nothing to show from drive number 2.
Lamar Jackson and the Raven offense heading out. And he's been loose with the football early. Interceptions on the first couple of drives. As they start again here, we'll see if he can do better. 1st and 10. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. That one goes for 24 yards.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Now this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion, field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate. You should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep it back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it out past the 30. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive, missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about.
Touchdown Vikings! Justin Jefferson with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One-play drive and into the end zone for 6. Taken from about the 12. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. They were trying to create some space to run. They created the penalty.
And you work on it so much. You work on it so hard. But it's tough to simulate game speed in practice. And that often runs you into a penalty.
So now factoring in the face mask, here's 1st and 10. Play action. It's Jackson. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson gonna be intercepted. And the Vikings are gonna take over at their own 11-yard line. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
So in the second quarter, he's already up over 100 yards receiving now.
And isn't 100 the magic number for a really good game for a receiver? So you got a chance to really shatter that and have a profound effect on this game.
Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
And decide to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Cousins going to bat it forward here on the jet sweep. And he'll be stopped at the 46, gain of 3. The Vikings on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They'll throw again. Cousins into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown. Well, this secondary just continues to be a force. Multiple interceptions in this game, and now the pick 6.
And the thing about it is, once you get an interception as a unit, you think to yourself, okay, we got that. How do we increase it the next time? Get the interception, do a little more damage, and there's your outcome right there. Take it to the house and break down what they're trying to do offensively.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. There's a glimpse of Justin Jefferson, the wide receiver, as he and the Minnesota Vikings return back here on offense. Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark. We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Picked off by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
After the interception. Good position. There downfield to break that one up. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. And now he'll let this one go deep, back over the middle. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. DeMarcus Robinson, 37 yards. And the Ravens have broken the tie. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead is now 21-14. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Keneduagu now out of his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. And now out comes Minnesota. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. 3rd and short yardage, Cousins. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And the Ravens are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, 50 yards. And the Ravens are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Well, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This taken in at the goal line. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track? And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. A few things better than a big man interception. You can always tell right when they get the football, there's that level of excitement and nervousness, and also like, what the heck do I do with this thing?
And you say, no better sight? Well, not for the quarterback who just threw it. It's bad enough to throw a pick, but to throw one to the big guy? But you're right about that. Now what do I do with it? But what's fun about it is, you know they're going to be in the film room after this ball game, telling all their teammates, maybe I should.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting.
And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Justin Madubuike working his way to the quarterback that time. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles, and that front 7 defensively, They've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Cousins to throw it. And now here is another interception. It's Chuck Clark picking it off, and the Ravens are going to take possession. Of the football. Edwards now on 1st and 10. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. That's going to go as a loss of 17 on the play, and that's going to bring up a second and about a mile here.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with second and very long. Jackson. Now he'll let it go on the run, deep left side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So a PI call going to cost him there defensively. What did you see?
Well, I think it's the right call, partner, because sometimes we'll see officials kind of let them play. But by the letter of the law, that's definitely a penalty.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Off the play fake, here's Jackson, rolling to his right. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we get... All right, hang on, we'll jump over halftime. The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play. And the Vikings set to go on offense to begin the third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, you know, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now. I'd say it's not panic time yet, but let's be honest about it. Empty possession here, not what you're looking for when you're down a couple of scores.
Absolutely not. Trying to start the second half off on the right foot. Unfortunately, going to give the ball up. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over it that time, and it's going to lead to third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens are going to take possession of the football.
Tough one there. First drive of the third quarter, throw an interception, and now a chance that they could be in even a bigger hole if they can convert this into points.
Yeah, but how good do you feel if you're that defensive coordinator right now? Because you just know that the head coach looked at him and said, turn him loose, big man. And he'd be able to take a few extra chances playing with this type of a lead, and boy, it paid off.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. From the red zone now, here's Jackson on first down. Flushed out right. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Ravens take a 3-touchdown lead. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with a touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because...
Oh, and now they're going to fake it.
Well, I have to admit, I'm scratching my head a little bit here trying to make sense of what I just saw. Number one, huge lead. Just kick the extra point and be done with it. Number two, if you are going to go for two, just line up and go for it from the 2-yard line. Why make it so difficult? That's a long way to go to try and pick up some points.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field against CD. Remember last drive, they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. Oh, he's got some breathing room. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Vikings. Justin Jefferson, 84 yards. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit.
Well, if they're going to make a game of this in the second half, they need a few big plays to go their way. That's one.
And the way to get it done is to also conserve time. So to your point, that big play right there, now you're not moving the ball downfield, taking time off the clock. You're leaving yourself a better avenue to continue to try and make a comeback.
Cousins will try and throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Jackson on 1st down. Man open is Robinson. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. And now here's another interception. And the Vikings are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years, but here we go. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a first down. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. Just a gain of a couple there, and it's second down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Running the jet sweep. This is Thielen with it. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up. That's the danger, Charles, of running plays like this for your wide receiver. They can hit big or they can be duds.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, because if they're forced to try and go around defenders behind the line of scrimmage, sometimes you can give yardage in order to gain it. But in this case, they gave yardage and didn't get it back.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Now a timeout called for by the offense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. First down, here's the run with Cook. Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And that play just looked a little helter-skelter from the start. That's the risk as a quarterback. Once you take off with that football, you might fumble it, and he did.
And he was going for the reward, which is gaining yardage, breaking down a defense. But you're right about the risk. Always lurking out there, someone always trying to get to the football. Try to find a place to cover up and slide and protect what you've earned.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Yeah, he will go out right near the 35-yard line. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
And, Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got him on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead. This is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. That's taken in by Duvernay. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. They'll get 34 yards there.
No let up in this passing game. They've been a well-oiled machine throughout, and actually saw a few guys on the sidelines at the end of the third quarter doing the old hold up 4 fingers college sign, meaning the fourth quarter is ours, and they certainly weren't kidding.
And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Here's Jackson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. And he's going to go down again. Give that sack to Harrison Phillips, the big man.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
They go for it on 4th and goal, but then winds up incomplete. They can't hook up here on the 4th down pass attempt, and the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, listen, go for it and try and finish it ourselves.
It was Tyus Bowser that time who made the play on the defensive side. From the 24, Cousins. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Cousins now. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, you're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. On target to his man, Likely. All that for a 2-yard gain, 2nd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
2nd down and 8. From the gun, it's Jackson. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson taking it in from 11 yards out. And the Ravens have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Tucker now to add the point after. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Nwangu now from his end zone. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Patrick Queen. And the Ravens are going to take possession of the football. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's the option play now to the left. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Jackson going to hold on to it again.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They'll wind up losing 11 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. Play action. Now Jackson. Now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side.
And a high throw there as this is knocked away. Down to the ground and incomplete.
The Ravens go for it but come up empty. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better?
And now here is another interception. Picked up by Marcus Williams.
And the Ravens will take over possession here up at the 44.
Yes, folks, that is his 3rd interception, and I'm going to use one of the most overused phrases in football. He's a ball-hawking safety.
I love the way that you called for the shot there. That's perfect, though, because there is something to that. Being a safety often allows you freedom to roam around a defense, maybe not a specific assignment. Today, his assignment, find the football, and he's done so quite well.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
Escaping the pressure right. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this will go out of bounds, so no recovery. And that is how this one will come to an end.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense.
Yeah. So that style not for you, but it's for me.
Greenville's finest.